Hi YouTube. I'm a little upset. I just recorded a 40-minute my analysis of the PBE rundown, and halfway through the video I accidentally got my mic muted, so I'm sad. Anyways, let's try to dive right into it. Okay, this will be shorter than this actual hour long video. If you wanna watch it, video in the description down below. Link will be in the description down below. Let's dive right into it. Goodbye to all these champions. I'm gonna be skimming through it, especially since I just did it for the past 40 minutes. Dragon Soul. The first Dragon Soul to take damage in combat receives the Dragon's Blessing. While blessed, the unit gains bonus stats, and every 5th attack fires the Dragon Soul Blast, dealing bonus magic damage. On death, this blessing passes to the closest Dragon Soul ally. So, I initially thought you'd want to backline Olaf, but now actually you may not want to. Because what's it called? The Dragon Soul is the first Dragon Soul unit to take damage. So you technically would want Olaf to be hit first. Which is a little bit scary, because if Olaf dies, if Olaf's your main carry, then you're kind of screwed. What's it called? The other thing I thought of though was that maybe you only run 3 Dragon Soul. You what's it called? You only run 3 Dragon Soul. You have the first Dragon Soul unit die. You hopefully have a Dragon Soul chosen and just give it to Olaf. Something like that. Yeah, so if you look at the clip here,
really cool to see whether it be like Shyvana or Olaf get this buff, things like that. But I also think this is one that a lot of players might struggle with, just because it's you can't just throw it in and be like, surprise, it works. You kind of have to plan around who's going to get the...
Yeah, so you see here, after 5 attacks, the Dragon Soul Blast does I would say a little cone. So that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I showed off Brandon Tristana in an old video. I think yesterday's video. Showed us here really quickly. Braum has to set to ult. He puts up a shield for 4 seconds, absorbing and stopping all incoming missiles and reducing his damage taken from that direction by a certain amount of percentage. Pretty good. Pretty good tank. Shyvana, basically I would say her basic her set 1 ult. She dashes away from her current target and transforms into dragon form. While in dragon form, she gains a lot of bonus HP. She gets some AD, and her basic attacks become ranged attacks that deal magic damage over 2 seconds. Bonus magic damage over 2 seconds. That's pretty good. I don't think you could try to do Shyvana carry, but we'll see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. Aurelian So. He breathes lightning in a line towards the farthest enemy, dealing magic damage and overcharging all enemies hit for 10 seconds. If the enemies are already overcharged, Aurelian So consumes the effect and deals 50% bonus damage. I feel like either one, you probably maybe just go full AP Aurelian So. Or you could try to just do stack a bunch of mana items on Aurelian So, stack 2 Shojins and a blue buff, because if he ults twice, he is probably going to kill them. I'd say that's pretty good. Olaf gains attack speed, immunity to CC, and his attacks cleave in the cone in front of him for percentage of percent physical damage for rest of combat. Pretty good. Dragon Soul. I'm just making sure my mic works. Swain. Swain transforms into his dragon form for 6 seconds, gaining percentage max HP and dealing magic damage each second to enemies within a certain amount of hexes. While in dragon form, every 2 seconds, Swain breathes fire in a cone in front of him, dealing even more magic damage, burning enemies for 25% of their max health as true damage over 10 seconds, and reducing healing by 50% for the duration. Basically, he has built-in Morello. That's pretty good. You were like, in set 1, he had to like have Morello. Now he has built-in Morello. That's insane. That's insane to me. As a note, Olaf and Swain does not have what's it called? Built-in healing. They have to get it from their traits, Slayer and Siphoner. So yeah, make sure you have those. Secret which Slayer. Slayers gain lifesteal that increases at lower health and deal bonus damage that increases based off their target's missing health. So if they're low on HP, they'll get some life stealing to get it back up, and if their target is low, then they'll do some decent amount of extra damage. Pretty cool. Also, Pike is now a Slayer. So in theory, you can get like an early, like maybe try to go Zed Chosen with 3 Slayer, and with like Zed Chosen with Pike. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Probably doesn't, but I might try it out. Darius. Darius dunks an enemy. Oh yeah, keynote, the fact that he only takes 50 mana to ult. Dealing magic damage. While dunking, he is unstoppable. Oh, I think that's a huge fix for Darius, because back in set 3, you CC Darius, he's like screwed. He's like absolutely screwed. So that's good. That's good that he can't get CC'd when he's dunking. That was a huge issue. So you probably don't have to run QSS. If this kills a target, he immediately casts it again, dealing reduced damage. So they nerfed him back a bit, which is good, because if he dunked infinitely and kept doing like insane amount of damage, that was a bit yikes. But that's good. He doesn't like instantly keeps on ulting. Or at least he doesn't instantly one-shot everything. Takes him a little bit. Tryndamere. Tryndamere spins towards the most enemies in a line, dealing 100% of his AD to enemies in his path, and empowering his next 3 autos to do additional damage. Not bad. I wonder if he might be the better warlord carry than Cap. We'll see. The fact that he's a duelist is interesting, because that means he can get his auto attacks off a bit faster than I would say some other champions with this ult. So that's pretty good. We move on to Executioner. It's kind of like Valkyrie from set 3. Attacks and spells always critically hit targets below a certain % threshold of health. You get 4 Executioners. With Executioner chosen, you're always critting, which is kind of funny. Xayah and Kayle. Kayle ascends, causing her attacks to launch waves that deal bonus magic damage. Set 3 Kayle. Interesting to note, she's a Divine Executioner, which means she technically has built-in crit true damage. Pretty good, if you can activate both traits. Xayah. Xayah leaps into the air, becoming untargetable, invulnerable, and throwing out a fan of feathered daggers. Deal a lot of % AD over AD as physical damage to enemies within the cone. Xayah then recalls her feathers, striking enemies hit for magic damage per feather. I'm assuming she's ranged, but we'll have to see. Cause geez, that's a lot of AD. We move on to Siphoner. All allies heal for some of the damage they deal with spells and attacks. 10% for allies, 40% for Siphoners. So all allies get a wee bit of healing, but Siphoners benefit the most. Vladimir is a cultist Siphoner. Cool. Nasus. Nasus withers the enemy with the highest % health, dealing damage over 5 seconds and slowing their attack speed and movement speed by 50% for the duration. I think of this as like a single target Maokai ult that also kind of has like damage over time. So yeah, cool. Vladimir. Vladimir deals magic damage to his target. All nearby allies are healed for 40% of damage dealt. It's like a set 2 ult, but slightly better. Cool. Fabled. 3 Fabled. Fabled champion spells are empowered from Tales of their past valor. Nautilus erupts the ground beneath his target, knocking them up, stunning them for a certain amount of seconds, and dealing magic damage. Fabled bonus, he also grants himself a shield that reduces incoming damage by 75% for 5 seconds. Fabled basically gives him like a bronze shield. That's pretty good. Nico. Nico throws a seed at a random target that explodes for magic damage 3 times. Each explosion affects a bigger area than the last. Fabled bonus, the third explosion is empowered, dealing a crap ton more damage instead. So for 1 star, it's 150, 150, 450. That's a lot of damage. So it only takes her also 0 out of 60. So she would ult a lot faster than Ari. And she's a built-in mystic. That's pretty good. And then Shogath. I'll play the clip.
If play here. Boom.
He ruptures a large area, dealing magic damage and knocking up all enemies for some amount of seconds. Fabled bonus, he knocks up everyone. Which is funny and amazing. Yeah. Shogath go boom. Cool. Really good CC. Rakan and Sivir. Rakan dashes to the furthest enemy within range, disarming all units he passes through for some amount of seconds and taunting his target. He then creates a shield with health on himself for 4 seconds. I think of it as like a Shen ult, but slightly different. Not as big of a shield. He only taunts one target, but instead also CCs a bit, which is pretty good. So yeah. Also, like, kind of coupling in the fact that he is Elderwood means he's gonna be able to survive pretty well. So that's cool. Sivir rallies her allies, granting them attack speed for 5 seconds. She gains bonus 80 for the duration. I already skimmed through the video once. I think she's a good support. I think she's a good support unit. I don't think she's that good of a what's it called? I don't know if she's that good of a carry. If she actually gets herself also attack speed with that rally, then maybe sure. But especially since she's in Cultist, like she can help out Callista in Cultist. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Samira. Samira dashes and becomes unstoppable, unleashing 4 shots per second at 3 enemies within 2.5 hexes for 2 seconds. For the duration, she gains 100% dodge chance. Daredevils seek to fill battle, dashing after every other attack. After every dash, they shield themselves for 20% of their max health, and their next attack fires 2 shots, gaining style. At maxed out, they cast their spell, aka Herald. Base star rank increases star level. Makes me a little bit scared the fact that she could basically has like built-in moonlight during combat. So we'll see. We show off the clip.
And the higher her star level is, which we might massage a bit, the quicker she can get to that ultimate ability.
Oh. Never mind. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see when messing on for Ornn. Ornn summons an elemental from behind the farthest enemy to travel towards him, slowing the attack speed of enemies hit by 50% for 3 seconds and dealing magic damage. If the elemental runs into Ornn, he headbutts it, redirecting it towards another distant enemy, stunning for a certain amount of seconds and dealing magic damage. Pretty good, like Ezreal. What's it called? Like a pretty good Ezreal replacement. After participating in combat, blacksmiths will begin forging an artifact item. The higher their star level, the faster they work. Once the artifact is complete, it will be able to bestow upon an ally. Each ally may only equip 1 artifact. If you read the article, we've seen 3 out of 4 of these artifacts. New one, the collector. If it's just these 4, fine. Where instantly kills enemies they damage who are below 10% HP. Executions generate gold. You get bonus. You get extra AD and crit. The Blitzcrank stun is for 1.5 seconds. The Mana Zane is interesting because besides the fact that you basically could ult twice, the main thing is that the video cam's kind of blocking it. What's it called? They gain 100 mana for 4 seconds. So, if you somehow CC the unit with Mana Zane for 4 seconds, they can't ult a second time. But it's pretty hard to find 4-second CCs though, so good luck. Unless you can chain CCs, but yeah. Lucky Lantern. A Lucky Lantern will appear in stage 2-1, or stage 3-1, or stage 4-1, or not at all. Every player gets their Lucky Lantern at the same time. Every player gets the same thing from their Lucky Lantern. The later the Lucky Lantern comes, the more stuff inside of it. It can contain gold, item components, new consumables, Nico, spatula, force of natures. Some of the new consumables: loaded dice. Use this on a champion to reroll a new shop only containing champions that share a trait with the champion it was used on. It cannot roll a chosen. So it was used on the Nautilus. I don't know what. This looks like a level 6 shop. I just realized. So Garen, 2 Nautilus, Nico, something else I can't see. What's it called? Yeah. So pretty good. I would say you can try to use this to. It's definitely really useful to try to hit those champions that you really need for your what's it called? For your comp, and maybe you try to roll for some 3 stars. V-Forger. Okay, this is interesting. Use this on a champion with at least 1 item to unequip all items and change those items into different random ones of the same tier. So in the clip,
It has at least 1 item on.
the Nautilus has a cloak, Rageblade, and Warmog.
The items pop
After using
off and
the V-Forger, the items pop off. What Mordok said, sorry. The cloak turned into a tier, and the Rageblade and Warmog turned into a Ludens and QSS. I think by same tier, they both mean item component and maybe what's it called? Maybe if it's offensive or defensive. So I would say the Rageblade turned into a Ludens and the Warmog turned into QSS, because Warmog and QSS are defensive items. Rageblade and Ludens are offensive items. So cool. Magnetic Remover. Use this on a champion with at least 1 item to unequip all items from them. Cool. It's been a huge item slam meta. Not mana. Meta. So sure. New consumable. Training dummy. Use this on a champion to spawn a movable training dummy nearby. It's like an Azir soldier. 1 star, 700. 2 star, 1260. I'm assuming the 2 star one you can get from a later Lucky Lantern. Cool. System changes. They wanted to reduce the chance of getting a 5 cost pretty early, and just 5 costs in general because of PBE. Where you just go level 9, you hit all your 5 costs, 2 star 5 costs, and the 5 costs chosen, you win the game. So they're changing it. 1% out of 5 costs at level 8, and put that back into 1 cost. 3% taken out of level 9, put that back into 2 costs. Remove the all defensive component for Carousel. Replaced it with 2 swords, bow, rod, tier, and 1 glove. Pretty good. Defensive component. The first Carousel being defensive component was not very fun. / not very flexible. You can't really use defensive items too early on. They're not that flexible. So it felt pretty bad, and it was just like really kind of boring. So that's good. Trait changes. Assassin, 2 assassin nerf, 6 assassin got a pretty big buff. So if you want to try to run a Kali again, hey, go for it. Cultist, Galio HP nerf. 3 and 680 got nerfed, but 980, 9 cultist 80 got buffed. Galio multiplier increased by 2%, so the more cultists / the more star levels you have, the more stats Galio gains. That's honestly relatively balanced, but yeah. Duelists. 6 duelists got buffed. Again, I don't know. I feel like duelists is in a kind of good spot, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Just based on the ones that I've seen. Elder Word got nerfed. Fair. Mordok did it in a tweet a while back. So it's fine. Enlighten. So 50, 70, 100% to 50, 100, 200%. That's huge. If you were trying to run talent, you usually ran 4 anyways. Just because it wasn't really worth running 6. 4 Enlighten kind of basically became 6 Enlighten. Old 6 Enlighten. And 6 Enlighten is huge. You would get 40 mana per auto. 40 mana per auto, I think for talent is like 2 to 3 auto attacks. I don't remember, but it's huge. That's huge. Especially you run a Shojin for some freaking reason. That's freaking huge. That would be like a lot. I can't do the math right now. I think it's like, is it 45 only? I don't know. Anyways, it's huge. No, it's probably way more than that. Probably like 50, I would say. Maybe even 60. Keeper. Keeper got hella nerfed because it's a lot easier to hit 2, 4, 6 keepers. Because we lost Riven, but we got Rakan and Saya. Mage. We worked from 369 to 357. That's fine. So the spell power got nerfed a bit, but it's a lot easier to hit those. Mystic. Buffed at 4 and 6. I haven't seen anyone really run 6 Mystic. 4 is definitely going to be a huge thing because of the Nico comp. So we'll see. Sharpshooter. 2, 4, 6 got an extra bounce. And 4 and 6 got buff. It got well, 4 damage reduction is the same. The 6 sharpshooter reduction is huge. It's got decreased a lot, so that's huge. They nerf 2 a bit, but in compensation you get extra bounce. So it's sharpshooter got fairly buffed, I would say, for the most part. Spirit got reworked to grant a flat attack speed for the first time a spirit unit casts. Spirit 2 20% and Spirit 4 35%. I don't know if you can try to run the spirit comp. We'll see. What's it called? Spirit right now felt pretty bad because if you got Spirit Chosen, they got reduced mana, which means you didn't get as much attack speed, which means it felt pretty bad. And the less Spirit units you had, the less attack speed would also be given. So yeah, we'll see. I feel like Spirit's a dead comp, but someone might try to figure it out. We'll see. Champ changes. Diana is now a Spirit Assassin. Plus 50 HP. More orb damage and an extra orb. Compensate for the fact that she can't be a 4-star. And yeah. I don't think you can make Diana carry a thing anymore. We'll see. Probably not. Pike is now a Cultist Assassin Slayer. Takes 1 less auto to ult. And does a lot less spell damage. Zed is now a Ninja Slayer. Now has 0.8 attack speed and jumps to the back by default. Sure. Kendra's now a Spirit Executioner. And look what they did to my poor boy Vigar. Oh no. It's like Because of the buff to Outerward and Mage, everyone forced Vigar, which was my favorite comp. And now he's just gutted. 30 out of 70 mana. Now 0.65 attack speed. Rest in peace, Vigar. 4 and 5 costs. Give me a second. There's a little bit more to go. Aatrox buffed by 50 HP, plus 30 armor, and does a decent amount more damage from his ult. Cool. Morgana. Enlightened Siphoner. The spell now reduces AD by 40% instead of healing because of Siphoner. Azir. Knockup duration nerfed by 0.5 seconds and slow duration down from 4 to 3 seconds. That's fine. It was a little bit annoying to deal with Azir in overtime. Because he would just like ult infinitely and you would be slowed infinitely and you couldn't like get to him. So for the melee champions, it was really annoying. So that's good. Lee Sin spell damage nerf. I don't think this does a damn thing. You're not using Lee Sin to like kill things. You're using him to just like knock things out of the board. So I don't think that this makes any difference. Yone, 60% to 40% armor and MR reduction. Right now on live, there is a bug where instead of 60%, he does 80% armor and MR reduction. So you can't even make like 1v9 champions like a Diana 4. So yeah, so basically they kind of just like nerfed him in half, which is good. Yone just like you run blue buff Yone, you're kind of just like set. So I'm glad they helped kind of address the issue. 2 more changes, really slight. Gunblade max shield down by 100. I don't think it makes a huge difference. I think this is probably just in response to Vigar, but even then, I don't even think the shield was that much of an issue. Maybe early game, but I don't know. Hurricane nerf from 90 to 80% of AD as bonus damage. That's fine. I didn't see too many Warwick comps in 10.25. And they did like okay. Maybe even a Z comp every now and then, but I don't think it's a huge issue. Okay. That's it. Link will be in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. I will try to have what's it called? 1 video per day. Because this is gonna be coming out tomorrow. Don't know what time, but should be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time. Take care.